Welcome, Kindred. This is Jessica, and I'm still in my pajamas, but I've just had some mail, some exciting mail. I've got some new goddess decks, and I started to open them, and I thought, no, I'm gonna put the camera on and show you what I've got. So I've ordered Kat Shaw's 2 new goddess decks. I've already got her first 2 decks. I think they're just called decks 1 and 2, and I really like them and I use them a lot, especially like I've got the Moonwise membership, which is like a goddess led circle. So I use goddess cards quite a lot. Oh, look, I've got a little pucker tea bag in here as well. And so when I saw that she was bringing out 2 new editions of the decks as well, I thought I'm going to have to get those. So this is from Kat Shaw. This is the artist. It is like an indie deck. It's not something that you can like buy off Amazon or anything like that, but it is they're not like super highly priced either. She does do deals for the different packs. Like you can buy at the moment, you can buy all 4 decks as at like a reduced offer. I didn't obviously need to do that. I just needed the 3 and 4. So yeah, I'll leave the links and everything down below if you want to go and have a look. They do tend to sell out, so just bear that in mind if you are although she does also reprint then sometimes. So I didn't, with the first deck, I didn't manage to get that in the first run, but then I got it later on. So I'll take you through these decks, but just quickly have a look at this. It says, thank you so much for your order. I hope you love your piece of catch-all art as much as I love making it. I get so excited to see my art in new homes. I'd love for you to share a photo on social media. Please remember to tag me, from Kat. So that is all her details actually. And I'll also put that down in the description box as well if you want the link for that. I've got this lovely little tea bag. And I'm just going to pull my chair in and let's have a look. I've just got so excited. I was just like, let's just do this straight away. So this is volume 3. So let's have a look at this first. I'm loving this gorgeous colour. So they always come in these like gauze bags with little charm things around the top of them. So this one's got a rabbit or a hare on it. And then inside that you get so they have these like tags on them, so they are quite big, like in packaging I suppose, but not in terms of like, there's not like the boxes and stuff that you get with the like mass market decks, because these are indie decks. So she's getting these produced, and I think probably like packing them up into these things and stuff herself, or with a small, you know, like with a small team of people. So this is volume 3. And so you get the guidebook, which has like just like little write-ups for each of the cards, but the artwork is just so rich and gorgeous. Like none of them have faces. They're all very like in physical bodied art. That's kind of like the style of art that Kat does. She doesn't put face like recognizable faces on things, and I do find for the Divine Feminine I quite like that. All of the decks have this like glitter back, which I know not everyone is a lover of glitter, but Kat definitely is a lover of glitter. So you're going to get that with her decks. Just going to snip this so I can get this off without scratching the backs of the cards, hopefully. So I'll take you through and show you the different cards. So some of them, like this one is Medusa Retribution, so I'm loving that as well. The reason I keep buying more and more goddess decks is because I want my breadth of goddess archetypes to be more. Oh my gosh, Queen Bee, love that. Andraste, Lady Veil. I hope the light's not reflecting off these. They are kind of shiny cardstock, and they're quite thick, but not like super thick. They're not as thick as, like, they do still like shuffle quite well, but they are quite shiny, so they do reflect the light. Lady of Water. So you probably noticed that they are some of them are like named goddesses, and others are more like, this one just says Moon Chakra, Sacred Feminine Warrior, and they've got keywords on them as well, or like a keyword or a key phrase. So this one's Firecracker, Change in Direction. If I put it down, I think the light's going to shine on it, so I'm trying to hold it like this so that you can see these cards. So some of them, like I said, are named goddesses, like that's Arianrod or Aranrod Weaver. That's an interesting take on Aranrod. Yeah. And she, like, these are all like full-scale paintings that she has done, and then has been, there's Persephone there, and then have been like photographed and made into these cards. So you are literally buying a deck of art. I mean, I know that's the case when you buy a deck in general, but yeah, I love the fact that these are all like full art entities in their own in their own right as well. Yeah, so I'm going to go a little bit quicker. I just wanted to be able to show you all of the cards so you could see. She does definitely like go into some lesser known goddesses as well. Like I said, this is the third deck and there's also a fourth deck here. So at this point she has worked with lots and lots of different, there's Hecate, lots of different goddesses, you know. It's not just like the same old ones that you find again and again and again in all the decks. It does like roam into lots of different into different cultures, different the lesser known. I think that's what I like about them. Some of the like lesser known goddess archetypes, she's unearthing those lesser known goddess archetypes with this deck, which is really fun. Oh wow. Yeah, so some of these goddesses are goddesses that I've worked with before. Kiss my witch. And what I tend to do, so yeah, I wondered if this was kind of like a starry kind of vibes for the deck, because it had the hair on the closure. And I'm not sure if she's making more of these. I assume like she is quite prolific painting. So that's interesting. Psyche is in there as well. That's a goddess I'm working with this year. Diana, fear, that's an interesting keyword for Diana as well. So Bridget, so there are, like I say, more recognizable goddesses. There are more there's a wealth of like lesser known goddesses, and there's also like the unnamed as well, like the kind of divine feminine archetypes that don't necessarily have names as well. Okay, so that is the third deck. And this is deck 4. I'm just going very quickly because I was excited and I wanted to show you. So this is volume 4. This one's got a pentacle around the closure and it's red. So the backs of the cards will be red, but probably not the same. Let me see if I can just reach. Oh. So this is the red of the third. Is it deck 1? I feel like that was, oh no, volume 2. That was volume 2. And this is the colour of those cards. So let's have a look what the colour. So there's the book. Let's pop that to one side as well. Yeah, so you can see that it's not the same, and that is good for me because I like to combine these decks. I like, obviously this is a lot of cards now, but what I like to do is make like mini decks of, like, quite often if I'm pulling a card for the Moonwise membership, for example, I will just pull out the named goddesses to work with in Hestia. Yeah, really happy with this. Really happy with it. I'll pull all the named goddesses out and shuffle them in together. So then I'm going to pull a goddess that is like a named goddess archetype. So like, you know, like Hestia rather than Sacred Drum Woman. But I also like to work, like you can also like pull out all of the Celtic, there's quite a few like Celtic and British goddesses. You know, you can make your own like mini decks with the different archetypes that you're working on. You can also combine them, like you could pull all the like maiden energy goddesses together and make like a mini maiden deck as well, or a mini crone deck, or a mini mother deck. You know, there's so many ways you can work with these and kind of, oh, that Inanna one is gorgeous. Yeah, like I feel like there's so much potential. I really like this red actually. It's a little like, this red is very bright, and this red is a little bit more kind of like subdued, a bit more pomegranate vibes. So I definitely get more like kind of fire energy off this one, and this one feels like more earth energy to me, which I suppose makes sense with the pentacle closure as well. Ellen the Fruit Bearer. There are also, you could make your own little Ellen deck with these decks because there's lots of different representations of Ellen. I suspect that that is a goddess that Kat personally works with because she seems to paint her a lot, like more than some of the other goddesses. Yeah, that's like that famous Minoan snake goddess. Excavation, that's such a good keyword for that. So I'll go through and show you the rest of the cards in this deck. I'll have a proper like look through these myself in a little bit. But yeah, just to show you what is here so you can see the kind of art. And like some people don't like her art. they find it too, like, because like all of the imagery is naked, which I find, you know, that's interesting. If like naked art like is triggering for you, then that's an interesting thing to kind of like dive into the why. But what I love about it is even though her depictions are naked, they are not sexualized. They're not like hypersexualized in that way that some, like quite a few actually goddess decks do kind of go into that. There's also like representations of all different kinds of bodies, which I really enjoy. You know, I appreciate that. But she gets like closed down on Facebook a lot for nudity, and you know, because there are nipples in her art. It's like, you know, we're living in very, very strange times, but her whole ethos is very much, oh, look at Pele. It's very much in the vein of reclaiming women's bodies from the male gaze. You know, it's about like enjoying your physical body and being loving of your body, and in any, you know, whatever form it takes, because all of our bodies are sacred. Masha there. See what I mean about like some of the lesser known goddesses kind of peeking through. There's some that you just don't find in any other decks at all. Oh, so Bride Brigid of Elements. Interesting. Yeah, and like some of them have these very zoomed in, and then some of them have got like faces in them. Very, very rarely does she have, in fact, I don't really remember seeing feet in any of them. You do see legs. Oh, actually, look. In the corner of that one, you see there's feet. But it's very rare. They're usually like kind of much more zoomed in. Almost as if the goddess is like spilling out of the card, which I enjoy. Sienna, cunning. Or Shona, is it Shona? The text is a little bit like flowery, so it's tricky to read, but you can obviously look up the cards, and you can see there's like 60 cards in these decks. There's a lot of cards here. Urania, Isis, yeah. There's a lot of cards in these decks, which is really fun to work with all these different kind of goddess archetypes that you don't find. So like over 4 decks, what is that? 240 divine feminine representations. That's a lot of that is a lot of divine feminine representation. I kind of hope she does make another couple as well. Like, wouldn't it be great to have like a divine feminine representation for every day of the year? Yeah, I'll just show you, because like these books are all very similar. You know, like she's obviously getting these printed up herself. Introduction, so just tells you a little bit about the oracle decks. A message of empowerment, a little bit about the oracle, how to use it, ways that you might want to use it, potential layout. So she's got a couple of like spread suggestions in here as well. Talks about her painting of the goddesses, which is yeah, and ways to work with them. This is good. So now when you use these oracle cards, you may be like me, nosy. I think most witches are nosy. I think it's a really good quality to to draw out in a witch. You may wish to go off and research all you can about the goddesses you have chosen and work out other meanings that resonate with you. You may wish to look at other images by different artists of the goddesses that show up for you through these cards and immerse yourself in the energy of those goddesses. You may think of ceremonies or spells or meditations you can do to connect more highly to those goddesses and the messages they have given you. And all this is wonderfully fine. However, just sitting with the image on the card is also fine. So it's just very it gives a lot of permission to work with these archetypes in the way that they speak to you. So I just wanted to show you, like, there's not loads of information. There's not like a whole backstory about these goddesses, and I kind of like that. You know, she leaves it open. She does give you like some, let's read Hestia's, is it? So yeah, I'll read this actually about the cards. There's some guidance in the booklet matching to every one of these cards and a word linked to them, but they're designed to be intuitive cards, as Goddess wants you to connect with her in your own way. She's inviting you into your own journey with this. So let's have a look what she's written for number 2, Hestia, which the keyword is hearth. I'm the glorious Greek goddess of the hearth, and I'm here to bring a warm, loving glow to your home and harmony into your family. As the hearth is a central hub of any home, it is time for you to nurture a sacred space for yourself, to feel held and supported, however this looks to you. This could be a sign to sort and organise your physical home to make a communal space, or by spending more time in a collective community place that enriches your soul. The hearth is also a space for gathering, so create your tribe and enjoy the simple pleasure in life of connecting with other humans. Assembling your people could be through building bridges with biological family or generating your own peer group family to share joy with. So they're these kind of short and sweet descriptions of all of the cards as we go through, and she does give some divinatory meanings, as you can see from that one that I just read. Look how much she's written on Ellen. I do feel like she does work with Ellen. And you know, you've got something to work with, you've got some of the background, but it's like a kind of invitation in, a way into your own journey with Goddess. So yeah, what do you think of these decks? Let me know. I'm very excited to start working with these. I'm going to be drawing the Goddess for the next moon cycle with the Moonwise Goddesses from this deck. And actually we are closing our doors in the Moonwise Circle to new members for over the winter period. We're going to have a winter in our kind of cozy sacred space. So if you do want to join, then get in before the doors close on the Taurus full moon on the 15th. I'll try and remember to put information about that down below as well. Thank you so much for watching. Warmest blessings, and I will see you very soon.